It's time for City Beat, your source for all the latest news on the city of Thompson, only on 610 CHTM.
Hello and welcome to City Beat. My name is Jaret Schneider. Joining me today is Mayor Tim Johnston. Good morning, Mayor Johnston.
Good morning.
So first before we get into the questions, I'll give you the first minute to run things down for the past week.
I'll just highlight a couple of the meetings that I had a chance to participate on behalf of the City of Thompson. On Monday evening, May 6th, the executive and the northern directors from the Association of Manitoba Municipalities were in Thompson to meet with Council. It was a good opportunity to talk about some of the issues that we put forward to the AMM over the last couple of years, and then a chance to talk specifically about how we can work together in terms of moving forward. A couple of the issues that came up have been those that we've been pressing, one being the amount of social assistance that the City of Thompson is paying in comparison to other municipalities. We pay approximately $160,000 based on a formula that was developed a number of years ago. Our belief is that we should be paying in the range of about $25,000, so we'll continue to pursue that. The other one, of course, is the request for assistance from AMM to work with the province to move forward on the cadet program. And as always, Thompson is indicating our willingness to pilot that project in our community. So good opportunity to meet with the AMM. Tuesday afternoon, we had our regular city-school liaison meeting, and I want to thank the School District of Mystery Lake, Chairperson Ashton, for hosting the meeting and opportunity to discuss issues of mutual interest, and we'll continue to have a very positive working relationship with the School District of Mystery Lake. Wednesday morning, Aboriginal Accord meeting with our signatories and stakeholders of the Aboriginal Accord. This is in preparation for producing the 2013 project report, which we will unveil on National Aboriginal Day, June 21st. And those are some of the meetings that have been taking place over the last week. It's been somewhat of a quiet week in terms of activity at City Hall. But of course, our crews are out working hard, especially in terms of the spring cleanup. I just drove the city this morning, and we're seeing some progress in terms of the sidewalks, but there is a lot of dust, a lot of gravel being moved around, and there's a lot of crews on the street. So we ask people to take caution in and around the crews that are working, and hopefully we'll be able to get through this and get people on to enjoying the weather that should be coming apparently after Friday.
204-677-8181, taking calls to the mayor, 204-677-8181. Now, we did have our 610 CHTM trade show over the weekend with over 100 booths set up inside the CA Nesbitt Arena with Nickel City Motors taking over the Gordon Beard. What were some of the things you saw when you were at the trade show and some of the things that took place over the weekend?
Well, it was great to see so many people out, and it was a good opportunity. The weather was turning in our favor, and I think people were out and about, and they were a little bit happier because of the weather. So it was a good introduction to spring, and thanks CHTM for the work done and all those that participated. Great to get out and see what things are offered in and around our community, and as I said, I heard nothing but positive comments in terms of the number of people that were out.
204-677-8181, taking your calls to the mayor, 204-677-8181. Now, the e-waste program started on Saturday. Now, how successful was the first Saturday of that, and how are things moving forward into the community cleanup this Saturday, and what are some of the things that will be going on with that?
Well, just to highlight that May is our spring cleanup month, and as you indicated, e-waste started last week. I understand it was we had a huge response to e-waste last week. I heard we had a number of pallets full of e-waste, and that program will continue on Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. right through to October 26th. So encourage people to take their e-waste down to the public works area on Saturday mornings. In terms of some of the other activities that are upcoming during the month of May, this weekend is a big weekend for us. May 10th, Friday afternoon from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. the Thompson Chamber of Commerce is hosting the Business Challenge to get people out in their workplaces and clean up in around their workplaces or other areas. And the other one is on Saturday, May 11th, we'll have the Clean Community Project, and that once again will take place at Robin's Donuts. Want to thank Robin's Donuts for making their facility available. 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. The city will be paying cash, $3 per bag, to anyone that comes by and goes out to pick up garbage. We'll supply the gloves, the water, and garbage bags, so I encourage people to get out there. I've driven the city, as I said, a fair bit. I think generally it's cleaner than normal, but there are still some pockets where we have to get out and pick up some of the garbage. So I look forward to the support of the community. Just to let you know that during the city will pay, or the month of May, the city pays $3 per bag to any community organization that wants to go out, and they just need to contact Public Works. So with everyone's help and assistance, the city will get it spruced up and ready for spring and summer.
204-677-8181. Now, the downtown kickoff will be held next Thursday outside the post office building. And what are some of the things that will be happening then with that and moving forward into the strategy?
Well, next Thursday, 5 p.m. at the green space just adjacent to the Canada Post, we'll be having our downtown strategy kickoff. Again, the city has undertaken a number of new initiatives this year. We're going to update the public on those, as well as introduce our partners, because we don't do this alone. We do it with a number of community organizations in terms of addressing the challenges in the downtown area. So encourage people to come out. They'll be able to learn a little bit more about the initiatives that we're launching this year. As I said, we've got some new ones, including the hiring of Annette Siddle to coordinate the downtown strategy, but also I think that some of our partners have some initiatives they're going to be doing, and again, it's an opportunity to highlight that we need to work together to address those challenges. And I think every year we improve a little bit, so it's our chance to talk a little bit about our plan this year.
204-677-8181. Now, the downtown kickoff will be held on Thursday, like we mentioned. Now, what are some of the key highlights of this new strategy?
Well, I think that the big ones on the strategy is that, as people are aware, in the past few years we've contracted for some of the bylaw enforcement. This year we're implementing our own bylaw enforcement, and that's the first step, I believe, towards the cadet program that you see offered in Winnipeg. And I think we're going to be able to transition into that program. But the strategy really has two things that we've asked the coordinator to look at: a short-term plan for this summer, and then a long-term strategy in terms of recommendations that the city can implement. Our goals specifically: one, to move to the cadet program; two, to move on a longer term towards the Main Street North type program that would provide a variety of services to address some of the social issues, that being detox, shelter, transitional housing, those types of programs. So, and I believe we can do that within the existing resource levels that we have, and I'm very pleased that we have a lot of community organizations that are working with us, and so I look forward to some of the recommendations at the completion of this summer.
And we do have a question now from William, and William would like to know, the sidewalk between Oak and Cree Road, will it ever be repaired, and when?
Well, I can tell you that one of the things I'm very proud the council initiated a number of years ago was that we had an audit of all our sidewalks completed, and every sidewalk in this community is rated 1 to 10, with 10 being it is in immediate need of replacement. That study is available for residents to review, and so I can't tell you exactly when that specific sidewalk is on the slate for renewal, but I can tell you that it will be graded and rated, and encourage people to take a look at that. This year we committed $125,000, I believe, to sidewalk replacement, and we have gone to tender, and so we do have a replacement plan for some of the sidewalks. I can tell you the sidewalks are going to be replaced are in front of Best Western, where if you went by there today, there's a fair bit of water because it's too low. The sidewalk at the public library will be redone, and then the sidewalk in front of R.D. Parker will be redone. So that's the plan for this year based on our study. But again, I encourage people to look, and we have that study not just for our sidewalks, but also for our roads.
204-677-8181. Now, we have another question here from Steve, and Steve would like to know, the green space around Thompson, will there be gardens for the public to grow vegetables and etc.?
Yeah, it's a great idea, a great plan. I'm not aware. I'd have to check with the Recreation Department. I know there's been discussions in the past in terms of making some space. As a matter of fact, history says that where the Southwood Ball Diamond, I think that one time that was community gardens. So I like the idea. I think it fits with some of the other initiatives we're looking forward in the Master Parks plan. So I'd have to follow up with Recreation and see what specifically the plan is for this year.
204-677-8181. Now, I know the streetlights at the corner of Westwood and Thompson Drive have been out for a little while now. Can you give us a little bit of an update on that and where we stand with that and how things are coming along with it moving forward now?
Well, I can tell you that we are trying to do some work to get those up and running immediately. We're being challenged by the age of our street lights and the ability to find parts to repair them. We thought we had the issue resolved. We brought some parts in, and it didn't resolve the issue. So we're continuing to work to try and get those lights fixed. But it's been made very clear, and we're working with the province who assists in terms of street lights. The City of Thompson has 6 sets of street lights in the community, and I can tell you that we need to move to a replacement program of those lights. So our administration is preparing for council short-term recommendations in terms of addressing the worst ones, and the worst one obviously is the one at Westwood. In the immediate future, and then a longer-term plan where we know we're now going to have to replace all 6 sets of lights probably over the next 2 to 3 years, and that's going to cost a fair bit of money, but I think administration is coming up with some recommendations of how we get that done.
204-677-8181. Now, with the May long weekend coming up in a week's time, what are some of the plans with the parks and campgrounds around the city for the long weekend? I know a lot of them will be opening that weekend. So what are some of the things that you can remind people, and what are some of the activities that usually go on that weekend?
Well, the long weekend obviously is really the start of the summer for many people here, and I know that the Paint Lake campground is slated to open on the long weekend, and with the weather, I trust that that'll be a go. I don't think people will be able to put their boats in the lake yet, but certainly the campground. And we've been working with the province of Manitoba in terms of trying to stress how important the campgrounds and the recreational activities in and around Thompson are to Thompsonites, and it's all a part of the quality of life. I understand Parks is going to be doing some improvements at Paint Lake, and the minister had announced some of those things just within the last month. So we'll continue to stress. We've noted that we would like to see additional campgrounds and services extended to the existing, but we'd also like to see the province take a hard look at the creation of additional cottage lots in and around Thompson, and we'll continue to push for those things, as well as we want to work with some of the operators here in terms of how the services can be enhanced. So it's a big weekend. The other one I can note on the long weekend, it's my understanding the local government district in Mystery Lake will be making the waste disposal grounds free of charge to residents on that day to move product that they may have accumulated over the winter to the waste disposal grounds. So the May long weekend is going to be a busy time. Encourage people to get out and enjoy what I think are, and has been proven in the recent surveys that were done regarding branding, that really one of the real attributes, strengths of Thompson is the natural resources in and around the community.
204-677-8181. Now, I know we have City Council on Monday, so what are some of the things that might come up and that we might see?
Well, it's a regular meeting of City Council on Monday, so there's a number of presentations that are going to be made. I believe the Thompson Unlimited will be there making a presentation. I believe the Chamber of Commerce is going to be making a presentation, as well as we'll have our reports, I know, from the RCMP. And then there's a number of resolutions. I don't think there's any bylaws on the agenda, so a lot of it will be reports and delegations to Council on Monday evening.
Okay, we have one final question from Jason. We'd like to know, road condition, especially Westwood, are not good. Is there a long-term plan or a solution?
Absolutely, there's a solution, and part of that is having a replacement plan. And again, as I indicated on the sidewalks, one of the things that the previous council initiated, and this council has carried out, is that we had a survey done of all the condition of all the roads. We have that plan. We have a replacement plan for the roads, both short-term in terms of how we try and get by in filling any potholes, things like that, but also a longer-term replacement plan. This year, we're going to be spending significant money in our capital budget on Thompson Drive South, where that work will continue, as well as some of the other areas. So, yes, I fully appreciate. I drive the city on a regular basis, and I also had my motorcycle out on the weekend, so I've seen firsthand the conditions of the streets, and we'll continue to invest I believe in the long-term sustainability of this community, and part of that is a road replacement. So we have a plan. We'll continue doing that. I can advise that I understand tomorrow we're going to be receiving some more cold mix, which is used to fill the potholes. I can tell you that the province of Manitoba ran out of cold mix over the last couple of weeks, and that's been one of our issues in terms of getting some of the potholes filled. I understand we're going to have some more tomorrow, and we'll be out on the streets filling those potholes.
And before we go, I'll give you the final minute to run things down for the week ahead and anything else that might be coming up.
Well, again, I just urge caution in terms of the amount of people that are out and about in the community. The warmer weather has arrived, and so a lot of work is being done. Encourage people to take caution in and around our crews, and I would ask that people get out, get involved in the cleanup project this weekend, and pitch into making Thompson just look a little bit cleaner and ready for the summer months.
That will do it for City Beat this week. I would just like to thank both William, Steve, and Jason for all calling in today and asking questions. Make sure to tune in every Thursday at 11:30 for more insight in and around your city. I would just like to thank Mayor Tim Johnston for coming in today, and to everyone else, enjoy the weather.
City Beat will be back next Thursday morning at 11:30.